Welcome to Plata, Plomo. We hope you are enjoying our channel. If you haven't checked out our web series, please click on the link in the description below. Make sure to hit subscribe and remember to hit the notification bell to be notified when new videos arrive. Who was Alabama White? So we all really liked Vince Gilligan's Breaking Bad story. It was a theme that had many challenges to get done. Probably one of the most notable that it overcame was a writer's strike back in 2008. But this badass story won over 16 primetime Emmys, among a bunch of other awards. At one point, it was the highest rated series of all time.
Yeah, Mr. White! Yes, science!
Breaking Bad was a crazy story that got rejected by many studios and the networks in the industry because of its high content of drug production and paraphernalia. But its pop culture legacy made the series an undeniable hit and one of the greatest and most influential series of television history.
So, how'd it feel to be old?
How does it feel to be a smartass?
Good.
Nobody would have ever imagined that a science teacher in New Mexico would ever become a notorious meth cook and would catch the attention of so many viewers globally. The concept of Breaking Bad was really clever. Vince Gilligan, the writer, started with the idea of the protagonist becoming the antagonist, the bad guy as we all know. So after time, the idea became a crazy story that we all know today and had so many fans and followers. But the big question is, did Vince Gilligan ever get the inspiration from real life people?
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
As some of you may know, art and life are interconnected. Art imitates life and life imitates art. So don't be surprised that there are a couple of characters out there that kind of reflect a similar or strikingly close resemblance to the Breaking Bad premise and storyline. So let's start with Walter White from Montana. This dude received a 12-year sentence after his arrest for distributing 32 pounds of methamphetamines. This happened because he got into a brawl with his son and ended up shooting him. The cops caught onto him and ended up discovering a meth lab after his son ratted him out for not getting paid the portion he wanted out of the business.
What the hell is wrong with you? We're a family!
But really, in 2017, a former high school teacher was sentenced to 9 years after being caught cooking crystal meth. It doesn't stop there. These two numbnuts, college professors at Henderson State University, were arrested for cooking meth in the university's science lab. Ironically, the university had nicknamed one of them the Henderson's Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Sure.
But here's the craziest one, the real Walter White. This was probably the closest real person that would reflect Bryan Cranston's character so vividly. It's Walter Eddie White from McCall, Alabama. We'll call him Alabama White. While the others were also part of the inspiration for Vince Gilligan's story, this Walter White predated the TV character with whom he shared the name and profession.
My name is Walter White, and I'm a meth cook. And for 10 years, I had the best meth in Alabama.
As you know, Breaking Bad came out in 2008. By that time, Alabama's Walter White was already many years ahead in building his meth empire.
Did you learn nothing from my chemistry class?
No. You flunked me.
Like the TV series Walter, Alabama White, as we call him, was also a family man with a wife and kids. But instead of being a teacher, he was a construction worker. On weekends, he would barbecue and hang out with the family, and he started cooking meth as a side hustle to make an extra buck. The thing is that this side hustle started to grow. He did not have a cancer diagnosis as in the fictitious story, but Alabama White had a family and the construction work just wasn't cutting it. And the extra cash was bringing in a better life for them.
You need to understand.
I have to hear one more time that you did this for the family.
I did it for me.
The meth Alabama White was producing was superior to his competitors. Therefore, it became in high demand. He ended up from cooking as a side hustle in his spare time to cooking full-time. By the time he knew it, Alabama White had built a methamphetamine empire that was generating thousands of dollars a day. His operation started in a small shack behind his house, and he later expanded his facility somewhere more clandestine to steer away from the police, so he moved with a partner to a ranch.
Stay out of my territory.
While Heisenberg had a sophisticated method, Alabama White kept things simple, even as the demand became higher. His secret recipe involved iodine crystals. He knew how to give the meth a bump that no other producer east of Alabama could compete with. He was never flashy or had an alter ego. Alabama White played it smart. He was a businessman for many years, building his empire without drawing too much attention to himself. He was the cook and his partner handled the distribution of the meth. This really helped him reduce his risk.
But you know the business. And I know the chemistry.
Unfortunately, as you all know in the world of drugs, no matter your intentions or how careful you may be, a drug dealer's empire never ends well.
How much is this?
I have no earthly idea.
Alabama White was making a shitload of money, but this business changes people, and it made him a different person. He got a divorce, his kids split, and the oldest of his son with whom he worked construction with completely stopped talking to him. And even though his personal life was a disaster, the business was bringing in the Benjamins. So Alabama White became consumed by his criminal endeavor.
This business is all I have left now.
No matter the character, how smart he is, how tough, or how clever, it always ends up the same story. His meth had gotten so popular, it was the stepping stone for the authorities to finally catch up with him. In a Breaking Bad type moment, Alabama White got a call from his attorney warning him that they had an investigation on him. So Alabama White did the smart thing and stopped his operation. But his partner got greedy and did not want to stop. He ended up bringing the heat on both of them. Was arrested in Tuscaloosa County and charged with trafficking among other related charges. Sammy, his distributor, was busted multiple times and ended up going to prison for 2 life sentences.
You got me.
Alabama White ended up on probation, but he was too deep into the world of meth and ended up getting arrested again in Bibbin County under similar charges. When he missed his court date, he ended up getting listed on the most wanted list with a $2 million bond to boot. Alabama White, the one-time meth kingpin of Alabama, had hit rock bottom.
I negotiated.
Negotiate?
Yes.
What does that mean?
This could have been the end of Alabama White's life as he knew it, but he had angels looking over him. A judge decided to give him a last chance and reduce his bond to 10 grand. Then he advised him to seek treatment. While Bryan Cranston's terminally ill Walter White went out on a blaze of glory, Alabama White got a second chance. A group of individuals from his son's church community pitched in to pay his bond. He was admitted to the Foundry Rescue Mission and Recovery Rehab in Alabama, where he turned his life around. During this time, he also reconnected with his once broken family, including his older son and granddaughter. Between the rehab center and his family in Alabama, White refound his happiness in life.
My family's, they got jobs and lives. I won't be hurting them this time.
Alabama White's case received national attention back in 2013 when he was interviewed for a Vice documentary. At this moment in time, he was awaiting trial. After all the craziness in court and considering the consequences of his actions, he ended up coming out pretty well.
Everybody wins.
Some people rumored he got a 12-year sentence, but that was Walter White in Montana. Alabama White got a much lower sentence. He was tried for 4 felony charges and a misdemeanor, including manufacturing and trafficking methamphetamine. He pled guilty to just 1 felony, possession of a recreational controlled substance. The jury dismissed the other charges, and Alabama White was charged with a fine of $2,000 and 32 months probation and suspended confinement. Like Breaking Bad's Walter White, Alabama White had to face the consequences of his actions. Fortunately for the meth cook, his fate had turned out to be very different than the one of his character.
Maybe your best course would be to tread lightly.
We think everyone deserves a second chance. For Alabama White, this second chance is a new beginning for his life.
I liked it.
Thank you for checking out the Plata Plomo channel. We hope you are enjoying our videos.
I was good at it.
And remember, crime doesn't pay. See you next time.